Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We meet again in online class 9 and a very good afternoon to everyone, every my student. Okay, so today is 3rd April 2020. Okay, so we start with question number 1. Okay, question number 1, given a program, a Java program segment, and then analyze the Java program segment. Okay, and below the question, given a dash check table with the input 45, 65, and 20 and 15, and the dash check table already being filled, the field name. Okay, the field name of your dash check table being filled. Okay, if you remember, I taught you before dash check table, there's no format for dash check table. You create your own format. Okay, but this time it's been given the format. Okay, been given the format, which is the field name also been filled. Okay, so next step you need to follow all the field and just enter the value. Okay, just enter the value. Okay, and this is the input. Okay, so analyze the program. Okay, program, the first one is assign equal to 0, count 1, count 2 equal to 0, and then define the value. Okay, you declare the value as integer, and then the input statement here, and then there are 4 here, and inside the 4 there is a input statement for value and for limit. Okay, there are two values you need to enter, value and limit, and then there is a selection below it. Okay, to check which one is greater. Value is less than limit. If value is less than limit, then accumulate the count 1. Else accumulate count 2, and then it close the loop. And then it's system dot print. Okay, never mind. You need to look at the table here. Okay, so we start with count 1. So what is the value for count 1? 0, 0. Count 1, 0, count 2, 0. So 0, 0. Value for I. Okay, next value for I. So I will start with 1. So value for I here is 1. Okay, 1. And then this is input part. So which one is value and limit? We have a collection of input here. So 45 will be the value, 65 will be the limit. How I know it's 45? It's not 4 and 5. How I know it's 45? It's not 4 for value and 5 for limit. Okay, because of we need to enter, correct? If I create enter, it should be 4 and 5, but this one we put 45 and then we press enter, then we press enter, we get the other input which is 65. Okay, so the first one is 45 and 65. Okay, fill in the blanks and then go to the next line. Okay, go to the next line. So the first one is 0, 0, 1, 45 and 65, and then go to the next line. So in the next line, okay, after you enter, the next line is here, okay, where value is less than limit. So the value is 45 and limit is 65. So 45 is less than 65 is true. When it's true, so count will become 1. Accumulate count become 1. So we put 1. Okay, but count 2 remains 0. Okay, and then the I will be updated. Okay, I will be updated becomes 2. Okay, 2. So I will becomes 2. Okay, and then the next input is 20 and 15. Okay, put the 20 and 15 and then check 20 is less than 15. The result is false. So false, we read else. So count 2 equal to count 2 plus 1. So count 2 will become 1. Okay, so the next line, the count will remains 1, count 1 remains 1, but count 2 will be updated to 1. And then I will update to 3. Okay, by this part, the loop will stop. Okay, after I is equal to 3, loop will stop. So when you enter the table here, you need to finish until it stop. You need to finish entering all the value until it stop. It's very important. Okay. Okay. Question 2. So question 2 given a flow chart. So you need to convert flow chart to pseudocode. Okay, it's an easy type of question. Okay, remember inside the pseudocode, indentation is very important. So we start with start. After that, indentation, and then input or read marks. Okay, after that, go to selection. If mark is greater than equal to 50, and then do your when it's true, display the message work harder. When it falls, this when it's true, display good job. When it's false, display work harder. So use the if and else, and then go to stop. Okay, so we start, and then remember the indentation, and then the if statement. Okay, you can ignore the parenthesis actually. Okay, and then print good job, and then else print work harder. Don't forget your and if, and don't forget your and if, and then stop. Okay, next. Okay, question 3. Check whether a year, which is integer, entered by user is a leap year or not. Okay, so you need to know what are the formula or what are the condition to assume a numbers as a leap year or the year entered is a leap year or not. And this is the output sample. Okay, so what are the condition of leap year? Number one, leap year must can be divisible by 4. Okay, must divisible by 4. Okay, number two, uh, leap year also, when it's divisible by 4. Number 2, leap year also it's not must, leap year also can be a year that is divisible by 100 and this is logical operator. Both must correct, then is correct. Both must true, then is true. So the first condition, it can divisible by 100, and the second condition, it must also be divisible by 400. Okay, that's are the condition of leap year. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, so create your structure, and then get the input. Okay, for the answers here, I'm using method. I'm using method. Okay, because it's much more easier for you to understand when you use the method style. Okay, get the input and then create the method to produce whether it's true or false. So when it will return true or false, we need to create a method type as boolean. Okay, boolean, and then get the parameter. Okay, int y from the main method. Okay, get the input from the main method, and then when you get the y, and then you can check for a boolean a. Leap year must be divisible by 4. This is the first condition. It must be true. So A must be divisible by 4. Okay, A must be divisible by 4. It must be true. Okay, and then the second condition is look at C. Okay, Y is divisible by 100. Okay, it must be divisible by 100, and it must be divisible by 400. This is the second condition. Okay, this is the second condition. Okay, but remember also there are other numbers. Okay, there can be also a leap year where 1 when being divisible by 100 is not equal to 0. Okay, when it's not equal to 0 also we count it uh, because when it's not divisible by 0, this part, when this part is true, this part will be false. When this part is false, C will be false. Okay, C will be false, but B will be true. When is true, C will false. Okay, uh, when B is true, C will always be false because it's contra here. Y divisible by 100 not equal to 0, and then the C while divisible by 100 is equal to 0. Okay, so we need either one. We need either one. Okay, but the most important is here, it must be divisible by 4. But not all numbers that divisible by 4 is a leap year. You must understand that. There are others condition, and these are the others condition. Okay, the first one, it must be true here. Okay, when it's true, so that is a when it's true, so it will be a leap year. And when this part true, also it will a leap year, or either one of it, either one B or C is true and part A is true, so it will be a leap year. So I hope you can understand my explanation. Okay, next question 4. Create a new program called MATL Java. Write method called MATL that takes 3 doubles as parameter and return A times B times C. Okay, I stop here. Okay, number 1, create a program. Create a class name called MATL Java. And number 2, create a method where your method, okay, have a parameter. Your method return type is have a parameter, and the data type for your parameter is in double. And the jobs of your method is to returns A times B plus C. So your method type also must be in doubles. Okay, method type in doubles, parameter value also must be in the doubles. Okay, and then continue. Write a main method that tests multadd by invoking it with a few simple parameter like 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. I simplified for you. Create the main method, then call your method inside your main method by giving the arguments value as 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. Okay. Okay. So look at the answer. So create your class. Okay, create your class name and then create your method. Okay, use the double and then the method name and then the parameter with all the data type as double. And then the job is to return A times B plus C. Okay, this is the job. Okay, open and close, settle this part. And then the next part is create the main method. And then we want to use, you want to call your method, you need to create your object. Okay, so create your object by your class name, multl obj equal to new multl and then the parenthesis sign. And then because it's a return type method, so you need to print it inside the main method. So do your system.print. Okay, create the message and then plus the value here. Okay, so value here you make your method call by using the obj.multl and then put the arguments inside it. Put all the arguments inside it. Okay. Okay. The last question. The last question is the hardest question to explain. Okay. Okay, but don't worry. Okay, I try to explain my best. Okay, question 5. Okay, if you look here, you will read here, I simplified for you. Okay, so Pat Amit intends to use a prepaid internet plan. So you must help him to make a choice whether you need to use plan A or plan B. Which one? Which plan you need to use? Okay, so the comparison here, when in plan A, the formula counts by each 100 megabyte, it will charge 3 ringgit. Okay, but for plan B, each 300 megabyte, it will charge 7 ringgit. Okay, clear? Okay, so you need to make a comparison. So when to make comparison, which one is cheaper? Either plan A is cheaper or either plan B is cheaper, or maybe the both plan are same in a certain data size. Okay, so what will be your input? So input will be your megabyte entered. So enter a megabyte and then calculate the rate, the charge rate, and then make comparison which one is cheaper. Okay, which one is cheaper? Okay, then and you must assume that minimum data size is 100, meaning that you must enter your data size in a multiplication of 100 in 100, 100, 100. Okay, I simplify for you by the slide after this. Okay, this slide. So this will be your input. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, and 900, and so on. Okay, so Pak Amit will enter this kind of input. Okay, how many data you want to use? You just want to use 100 megabyte of data. So it should choose plan A because it's much more cheaper than plan B. Okay, why plan A is 3, plan B is 7? Because for plan A, the telco sold for 100, 100, 100. But for plan B, telco doesn't sold for 100. The minimum for telco B sold the data is 300. So if Pak Amit want to use 100, he needs to pay for the price of 300. Okay, that's why you can see all 7 here. Okay, you want to use 200, he cannot buy 200 in plan B, he needs to buy 300. That is the minimum, and that is the calculation of plan B. You will calculate 300, 300, 300. But for plan A, no problem, you calculate 100, 100, 100. Okay, when you will be equal? Okay, when you will be equal? When Pak Amit wants to buy 700 data. Want to buy 700, so in plan A, 700 divided by 100 times 3, so equal to 21. But in plan B, Pak Amit cannot buy 700. He needs to buy minimum 900 to use 700. Okay, because it's divided by 300. Okay, so he need to buy 900. So Pak Amit needs to pay 21. As long as for 700 also he needs to pay 21 ringgit. So only this part will be equal. Okay, other than that, plan B is more cheaper. Okay, because when we compare the price, let's say for 100 and 1500 data megabyte data, for plan A is 45 ringgit, but for plan B is much more cheaper, where he only pays for 35 ringgit. Okay, your next problem is to create the formula. Okay, I'm sure you have no problem creating this formula. You just get the input and then divide by 3, so you will get this result. You will get this price. Okay, 100 divided by 100 and then times 3. Each of this input divide by 100 times 3. You will get this result. Okay, but for plan B, there are two formulas involved. Number one, where the data can be divisible by 300, which is 300, 600, 900, 1, 1200, and 1500. All of these are divisible by 300. So the same formula, 300 divided by 300 times 7, you get 7. 600 divided by 300 times 7, you'll get 14. 900 divided by 300, you times 7, you'll get 21. 1200 divide by 300 times 7, you get 28. 1500 divided by 300 times 7, you get 35. Okay, these are no problems for this part. But for others, how to create the formula? Let's say for 500, how to get 14? For 500, how to get 14? Because if you use the same formula, 500 divided by 300, okay, you get points, you get decimal number. Okay, how to get 14? Okay, when it's 600 divided by 300, you will get 2. Okay, you get 2. 2 times 7, you get 14. But 500 divided by 300, you get decimal number 1 point something, correct? Okay, but remember, this is integer, and then also you divide by 300, also an integer. So the answer will be only 1. The point will be ignored. Okay, you will get only 1. And then how to get 14? Okay, you need simply plus another 1. So 1 plus 1 become 2, and then 2 times 7 become 14. Okay, let's look at 400 also. So 400 divided by 300, we will get 1 point something. So because of integer divided by integer, the result will be only 1. And then 1 simply plus 1, you get 2. 2 times 7, you get 4, 14. Okay, let's look at the answer. Okay, create your structure. Okay, just create your structure and then get the input for quota. Get input for quota and then use the formula for plan A. This is formula for plan A, simply quota divided by 100 times 3. You get the charge for plan A. Okay, but for plan B, you need to have two formula. First, you need to filter. You need to check whether it's divisible by 300 or not. If quota is divisible by 300, quota modulus 300 equal to 0. So use the first formula. Plan B equal to quota divided by 300 times 7. But when this is false, so you need to use the second formula. We have told you before, plan B equal to quota divided by 300, then simply plus 1. Simply plus 1, then you times by 7. Okay. After you get all the result, then make comparison. Okay, if plan A is greater plan A is cheaper. Else if plan B greater than plan A is cheaper. Else for others, meaning that is both price are same. So I hope you can understand my simple explanation. It's simple to you. Okay, simple explanation. If you don't understand, you can PM me, or you have any question, you can just PM me. Okay, so that's all for today, my online class. I hope you stay at home and stay safe. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you very much.